This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good night, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for May 22, 2023. And in the news tonight, business owner gunned down on Shortwood Road in St. Andrew. A business owner was gunned down Monday morning at his St. Andrew business establishment by an unknown assailant. The deceased has been identified as 62-year-old Amson Sigree, principal of Discount Business Supplies located on Shortwood Road in the parish. According to a police report, about 9:46 a.m., Sigree was inside his business establishment when a lone man disembarked from a white Honda Fit motorcar and entered the establishment. The man brandished a firearm and opened gunfire at Sigree, hitting him in the upper body. The suspect then escaped in the waiting motorcar in the area. The police were summoned and a team from the Grand Spend police station rushed the now deceased to the Kingston Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. British woman held with Jamaica $9.5 million worth of. A British woman was sentenced to 12 months in prison by the St. James Parish Court for attempting to smuggle 4.5 pounds of cocaine onto a flight to England. Ashanta Ferguson, who was arrested in November of last year, was sentenced on Monday by presiding parish judge Keisha Grant Price after pleading guilty to possession, dealing and attempting to export cocaine. Ferguson's attorney Charles Williams asserted during the sentencing hearing that the defendant had been tricked into smuggling the illegal substance by a man with whom she was romantically involved. Williams further argued that his client had not wasted the court's time. She came for 2 weeks to spend the time with her father, and while there, she met a man for whom she got pregnant. On the way to the airport, the young man gave her something and asked her to take it up to England for him. But whether or not you are academically smart, you still have to have common sense, and you cannot say you did not know, said Williams. The accused woman's involvement in cocaine trafficking left Judge Grant Price perplexed, given her position as a peer counselor in Britain. These are very serious matters, and this was not a small personal amount of cocaine, plus it has a tremendously high street value out there. I find it strange that a peer counselor, a person trained to mentor young minds, would contemplate such an activity, but I am not holding that against you. However, I cannot punish you with a slap on the wrist, Grant Price told Ferguson. Besides being obligated to serve a year-long prison sentence, Ferguson was also instructed to pay a hefty sum of $1 million for possession of cocaine and $500,000 for attempting to export it out of the country. Failure to pay these fines would result in an additional 9-month prison term. She was admonished and discharged for dealing in cocaine. On November 19, 2022, at 7 p.m., Ferguson was reportedly at the Sanctuary International Airport in Montego Bay, preparing to board a flight to the United Kingdom, when her luggage was subjected to a routine search. While combing through her belongings, authorities found 2 hidden compartments in the woman's luggage that contained cocaine with a street value of approximately £50,000 or Jamaican $9.5 million. Ferguson was subsequently interviewed in the presence of her attorney on Monday, November 21, following which she was arrested and charged. Combs await results of autopsy on Canadian who died while visiting Jamaican husband. An autopsy was on Monday conducted on the body of a Canadian woman who died at Shearers Heights in Portland Cottage, Clarendon recently. Jada Pauline Whitehead, a 28-year-old school board employee from Toronto, Ontario, died after she reportedly came to Jamaica to visit her husband in the community. Head of the Clarendon Division, Superintendent Carlos Russell, told the news that a post-mortem was done Monday morning and the police are awaiting the results. The husband, who was detained shortly after the death, remains in police custody. Whitehead reportedly arrived on the island about 3 weeks ago to visit and spend time with her husband, who is a fisherman. Police said 2 Fridays ago the two reportedly had a dispute which got physical. It is alleged that a fan was thrown at the Canadian and her head slammed into a wall. Whitehead reportedly left the home and went to stay at her friend's house in the same community. While there, her friends advised her to visit the hospital However, Whitehead reportedly expressed that she did not wish to go and refused to report the incident to the police. Police said while at the house, Whitehead went to sleep sometime after 3 p.m. and her friends observed that her head was swollen and tried to convince her to visit the doctor, but she refused. Further reports indicate that around 5:30 p.m., the friends returned home and discovered Whitehead lying in the same position they left her. They realized that she was not moving and reported the matter to the Lioneltown police station. The police responded and saw Whitehead's lifeless body lying face down on a bed. She was clad in a white t-shirt and blue short jeans pants. Swelling was observed on the face and the neck, and she had what appeared to be bloodstains on her hand. The body was transported to the Lioneltown Hospital, where she was confirmed dead. Murder accused DJ Biko denied bail. Murder suspect Siobhan DJ Biko Fairclough, who is accused of the 2022 murder of 26-year-old Sasheen Sterling, has been denied bail. Fairclough, a 30-year-old music engineer from Love Lane in St. James, was denied bail during his committal hearing in the parish court on Monday. He was remanded by presiding Judge Keisha Grant Price, who feared he might abscond if released on bail. We have evidence on file that an incident took place in September 2022, and Fairclough left the area thereafter. He said he lives in the area, but he was not there, Grant Price told the court, referring to a report from the prosecution alleging that Fairclough fled the scene after Sterling's death and was later found in Trelawney. What we do have as a live issue is that of interfering with witnesses or otherwise obstructing the matter. I will leave the issue of bail to be determined by higher jurisdiction, Grant Price added. The decision was made even though Fairclough's lawyer Adrian Days contended that his client had not been contacted or made aware that he was a person of interest and that Fairclough had no prior convictions. The allegations are that on September 28, 2022, at about 10 p.m., Fairclough and Sterling were among patrons at a party being held on King Street in Montego Bay when an altercation broke out between the two, allegedly due to a past feud that Sterling had with Fairclough's uncle. Fairclough pulled a knife and stabbed Sterling in the chest before throwing the weapon away and fleeing the scene. Sterling was taken to the Cornwall Regional Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Truckers becoming restive amid delays at the Kingston Freeport Terminal. Trouble is brewing at the Kingston Freeport Terminal as there is a pileup of trucks at the facility following damage to an essential piece of equipment. Basil Lee, general manager of the Port Haulers Trailers Association, says since last week there have been significant delays at the port due to challenges with the loading and offloading of containers to be inspected. Mr. Lee said the problem worsened after one of the scanning machines used in inspection of containers was damaged last week.
Got further worse based on that one of the scanning machines is down. So now you have a scanning machine here has to be doing everything. And this is the end result. I understand it has been from Friday, it was burnt up. Not sure when they're going to do a replacement, but this can't continue.
So how many scanning machines would I usually, do the scanning of stuff?
I understand 3, and now it's down to 2, with one being very, very slow. It probably take more than 15 minutes to do one container. If you multiply that by even 5 containers, you see the difference it's going to take for us to offload a container and scan it. We are trying to give them some time, but we will be doing that. We'll be seeking audience. We're going to send out our communications, and at the same time, the drivers are getting restive. So, there's no guarantee.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.